Today in our 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek, we're going to be test fitting the RockyMounts MonoRail Solo 2-bike platform rack for 1¼ and 2" hitches, part number RKY10007-05. We already have a bike installed on our rack. Let's take a closer look here. One of the nicest features about this bike rack is the fact that it can fit a wide variety of bikes, mainly the fat bike that you see here, as it comes with an extra strap for the rear connection point here. This will also work with e-bikes, as well as road bikes, mountain bikes, kids bikes, and alternate frame bikes as well. One of the main features about this is that it can tilt away from the vehicle with the bike still attached to gain rear hatch access. To do that, there's a blue handle up at the front here. Now, there's no extension for this, so it is pretty far underneath, so you may need an extra set of hands because it can be a little awkward when two bikes are installed. Pull the handle towards you, let it come down. And now we have full access to our rear hatch, and there's enough space in between the bike rack itself and the vehicle that that's not going to be a problem to get to what you need. To put it back in its original position, you just simply lift up by the bike rack, never the bike, and so you hear that click. Now how this actually attaches to the bike, we're going to have 2 points of contact. We'll have the strap that we pointed out earlier, and this rear point here actually pivots back and forth, and that's what's going to help fit a wider variety of bikes on this bike rack, or larger bikes, as long as the wheelbase isn't over 48 inches. And up at the front here we have this wheel hook. Now the wheel hook is a pretty nice feature, especially for platform style racks. This is what enables it to fit all those wide variety of bikes without having to get a bike adapter bar. You see, there's a lot of platform styles that actually come up in the center here as a mast and grips it by the frame. But with those alternate frame bikes and kids bikes, those sit pretty low, so you would have to buy an adapter bar for that to work. This, you don't have to worry about that at all. It does also come with this cable here that wraps around the frame of the bike and attaches to this point up at the front to act as a cable lock to secure your bike to the rack. And it is key-to-like with the hitch lock, which we'll get to in a second here. We'll remove that real quick. And then we'll go ahead and take our bike off. And another advantage about the actual wheel hook also is that for your carbon frame bikes, it's not going to damage the frame at all because there's no frame contact. To remove the bike, we'll release our rear wheel strap here first. And then, holding onto our bike, we'll release our wheel hook. Now you want to hold onto the bike because you don't want it falling into the vehicle once that's released. There's a blue trigger on the side here. You push that in and away. Now to put it in place, it'll ratchet down. I'll put this off to the side. And once the bike is off, everything folds to a nice, neat configuration here like we see in the front. This pushes down. We'll bring the hook up and around. And that sits underneath there. Now at this point, we still have full access to our rear hatch if need be. With it out like this, I'd like to give you a couple quick measurements. From the edge of the bumper to our outermost point, we've added about 37¼ inches to the rear of the vehicle. Our ground clearance at this point is going to be 23 5/8. Then at the base here, that's going to be about 11 inches. And you see it does have that nice raised shank, so there won't be an issue of clearance between the bike rack and the ground. Now with it folded flat, we can push this up against the vehicle as well for those close quarter situations such as parking. Again, pull the latch towards us, push up, and see you hear that click. And again, measuring from the edge of the bumper, now we've only added about 14½ inches to the rear of the vehicle, so that made a huge difference. And the closest point to the bumper is going to be about 4 inches to that edge. So that's more than enough space there too. One measurement that I did forget to give just now the closest point with it folded out, that's going to be about 8 3/4 inches, just for your information. How this attaches to the hitch, we're going to have an anti-rattle bolt, which once that's attached, that'll take out the shake and play in the shank and make for a smooth ride. And of course we have our hitch lock up here, which is key to like with the cable lock that I just took off. Also, we have this collar around the edge here. Once that's removed, you can utilize this with an 1 1/4 or 2-inch hitch. Now with the 1 1/4 hitches, you have to make sure that it's a class 2 for the 2-bike configuration. Also, up at the top here, you see these 2 screws on either side. A major feature about this also is you can remove these screws and you can convert this to a 1-bike rack if you wanted to. And there you have it for the RockyMounts MonoRail Solo 2 bike rack on our 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek.